the LG Wing in 2024. Now, this is a 2020 device. It's a mid-range device. It's not a flagship. I remember when I first got this, I kept thinking it was a flagship device. And I think the reason for that is because it looked and felt so premium, and the fact that, it has a swivel display. I really thought it was a flagship device, but it's not. It's a mid-ranger. But I tell you, it feels and performs like a flagship device. All right. Now, I love this phone, and you can see the reason for that. It's just because of this dual display. I mean, I love it. I mean, you're not gonna see nothing like this on the market. I mean, it's a shame that LG went out of business before they could improve upon this, because they did a great job with this. I mean, you talk about innovation. This is innovation. This is what we're missing today. And LG was a company that was known for innovation. They was always trying new things. Some things I thought worked real well, but they didn't stick with it. And sometimes they bombed, but at least they took risks. I will say that about LG. They took risk, and that's all you could ask for when it comes to a company that's making smartphones. Take a risk. I mean, sometimes you're going to fail, sometimes you're going to do well, but I'll say this: they did a great job on this phone. To this day, I still don't have any issues with it. I've had it now for over 2 years, maybe closer to 3, and this phone still works great, no problems. I still get good battery life. You got this Gorilla Glass Victus, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front, which has 0 scratches, not even micro scratches, nothing. As you can see, there's nothing. So I didn't have a problem with Gorilla Glass 5, and I know Gorilla Glass Victus came out, which was great too. Now, Gorilla Glass 6 was not good. It was highly scratchable, easily scratchable. I didn't like that. But when Gorilla Glass Victus came out, no issues with that. Then Gorilla Glass Victus 2 came out, and that scratch is extremely easy. I got tons and tons of micro scratches on my S23 Ultra, and I don't like that. So I was cool with either Gorilla Glass 5 or Gorilla Glass Victus. Would have been fine, but no scratches on this, none, no micro, no nothing. So, and the build on this is excellent. Let me take this little case off. Now, this case is not even protective. It just protects the back of the phone. As you can see, it's just like a little shell. So it's not very protective, just protects the back. And mostly I got it because the way it looks in the kickstand. But I can't even remember where I got that from. I've had it so long now. But when you look at this, you can see it looks like a Note 20 Ultra. But when you feel this in your hand, it's nice and rounded off. It doesn't stab you in your palm. This is all round. The corners are rounded. It feels super comfortable. It is hefty, got some good weight to it. But man, this is a great feeling device. You got your fingerprint sensor always on display. Only thing is missing for me is face unlock. It's a shame they didn't add face unlock to this. You can find this for dirt cheap on Amazon. If you look up, I'm sure you can get it probably for maybe less than 300. And I don't know. I haven't looked up the price for this recently, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty cheap. Got this beautiful 6.8 inch POLED 1080p display. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can make it even brighter than this by just going in, hitting that toggle button for extra brightness, which I don't know if I have it on right now. I think I do. So this is the brightest it's going to get, and I love it. I just love a bright display. Of course, you got this secondary display here. So 3.9 inch 1080p GOLED display. And you could basically control this display with this display. Now, I'm not going to do all of that in this video because I've already done a bunch of videos on this device. I'll put them up at the end of the video, but they really thought this thing through when they made this device. They really thought it through real well. You will never have to touch up here with the way they got everything set up down here where you can control everything from down here. And then when you're watching movies, you can just hold it like this as opposed to, how you typically hold a device like this. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is go to this Just slide this down and go to this thing right here. It's called G-Lock or Grip Lock. Grip Lock. Now you can still see, the time, the date, your battery percentage, the day, and you'll still get your notifications, but you could just hold it like this and just watch your movies with no worrying about trying to, with your fingers being in the way. Just hold it right, just like this, and nice and comfortably. So I like that a lot. Now it does have IP54 splash proof rating on it. So if you splash it, it'll be fine. It's 5G capable, of course. 256 gigs of internal storage, 2 terabytes of expandable storage, something that you're not gonna see on newer devices except Sony's. Other than that, but if you're a person that needs expandable storage, you're good to go with this phone here. Now, the chipset, of course, Snapdragon 765. It's a gaming chip. It's a mid-range device. So it's cool, but it works fine. I don't have any issues when it comes to the performance. It's still pretty smooth. Now, I'm not saying it's the fastest thing running. Plus, I haven't used it in a minute, but it's nice and smooth for me. I don't have no problem with it at all. But, it has older software. See, everything, I just turned it on not too long ago, so it hasn't been on for a minute. So it usually moves even a lot faster than this. But like I said, I haven't had it on in a minute. But like I said, I don't have an issue with the performance. I love the performance. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful device. Now, should you consider it? Yeah, why not? 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Like I said, you get wireless charging. Okay, not the fastest charging in the world, but you still get wireless charging, which I like. All right. And the cameras back here are really nice too. They shoot really good photos and videos, especially when you put it in manual mode. That's LG's Pro mode. I used to film all of my content with this device until I got the Note 20 Ultra. That's how much I like the cameras on this device. But I tell you, when you hold this in your hand, you're gonna feel nothing but premiumness, if that's a word. And you're gonna love this display. No notch, thin, no bezels on the side, very thin bezels on the top and the bottom, basically all screen, and you're gonna absolutely love it. Okay, you can shoot 4K at 60 frames per second. Now on the front, no 4K. Okay. Only 1080p at 30. So you don't even get 1080p at 60, unfortunately, and no 4K at all. But other than that, man, I still love this device. Like I said, it's very unique. You do this and you're outside, you're around people, they're going to want to know what type of device this is, because you may not see nothing like this again. Because of course, I think they're working on rollable smartphones. So I don't think you'll ever see anything like this again, because nobody's even attempted to make a device like this since LG did it. And it's a shame, because this was such a unique and innovative thing to do with a device. You get 2 displays, but that is not foldable. You just flip it open. Foldables is good, but man, you talking about a full display on the front? Because how with Samsung. Let me show it to you real quick. See how you got this small, narrow front? And some people like this narrow front because they feel like the device is, one-handed friendly. But some people don't. They want a regular phone experience without having to open a device up. Okay? Now, with this, of course, you're going to get a regular, feeling, when it comes to regular size phone on the front, because, you got that big display. But then when you want to watch movies or do certain things, you could always switch down here and control everything down here, up here. Now, of course, with this, you open it up because it's folded, you're going to get a bigger display. But, some people just don't want something this big, or they just need something a lot bigger with the outer display. So it depends on you. But you're not going to really do a lot of head turning with that. You are going to do some head turning with this. So, of course, No more software updates. Android 13 was the last, but still, it runs fine. No issues with it. I still get great battery life with this phone. I still can get a day and a half. I know some people say they can't even get through a day. Hey, I can't speak for you. I'm just telling you what I get. And that's 100% brightness, always on display. I'm using just about everything full throttle. The speaker, only one speaker. That's the only downer. That's the biggest downer for me with this phone. But I will say this, the one speaker sounds really good and it gets pretty loud. So that's the only downer for me, honestly, and no headphone jack and no quad DAC. But I still love this phone to this day. That's why I'll never get rid of it. It'll just have to stop, literally working in order for me to get rid of it. Other than that, I'm keeping this phone. Definitely. The LG Wing, do I suggest, can I recommend this even in 2024? I can. Because like I said, if you got a phone, honestly, that you love and it's working fine, you're not having any issues with it, and it's giving you everything that you need, why upgrade to anything if you're happy with it? Especially with phones being so expensive these days, like the S24 just went up $100 even more, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, because you don't even get a charger, you don't get no case, you don't get no wired headphones, you don't get a decent presentation, and Samsung is constantly upping the price on their devices. I don't like that. You shouldn't like it either. But of course, you're going to have some people that are going to blindly follow Samsung no matter what they do. They're going to buy their products. More power to you. To each his own. But you should want value for your money. You're definitely going to get value with this device right here. Definitely. You're going to get great performance, great cameras, great build, great button placement as well. The biometrics are, it's okay. I mean, you got the fingerprint sensor that's not the fastest, but it works. You got a great display. You got great cameras. It runs really well. The battery life still works really well for me. And you got that innovation, which is the biggest thing that's going for this phone, is innovation. I'm telling you, once you play with this, and then it has the camera on here, down here has a gimbal. See that? It has a gimbal, so you can move the camera from left to right, up, down, side to side. I mean, you got all these controls. I mean, I'm telling you, this phone is amazing. I'm telling you. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.